Hello, this is Paul Bo Brookins, and welcome back to How to Play Dwarf Fortress. This is part 12, and as you can see, our miners dug out this whole area that we're going to use as part of our stockpile floor. Off video, you didn't have to look at it at all. They just mined it. It wasn't very interesting. One thing that was kind of interesting was I dug out also the level below to start an area for our workshops, so we could have our workshops underground, and we found some platinum, which is really valuable. So it looks like our fortress is going to be based on a trading economy. We're going to be making a lot of high value items and trading them for the resources that we need, because it looks like we're not going to be able to make steel from the minerals that we're going to have up near the surface. So there's a couple of different types of metal ore that you can make iron out of, which eventually turns into steel. We have the proper stone for that. We have the dolomite, like I mentioned in an earlier video, but we don't have the proper metal. We need iron ore in order to make steel. So we might end up trading for a bunch of iron, a bunch of steel, a bunch of pig iron, which is the in-between between iron and steel, using platinum goods. Might make some platinum toys, might make all kinds of platinum stuff. But for now, we have a stockpile area started and a workshop area started. And let me show you what I normally start out with for stockpiles. Remember, stockpile is the button P, P for pile. And one of the first stockpiles I make is for stone. I know a lot of people don't like to stockpile stone. They think it gets in the way. It does. I don't like to leave it cluttering the ground. I like to put it in a neat little pile here. And normally I'll separate out certain stones, but for now I'll just have our dwarfs start taking all the stone and putting it into this section. Into this other one, just for right now, I'm going to make a custom one, and I'll show you how to customize a stockpile. I'm making it in that room. What you'll want to do is hit Q for the building information, and it'll bring up the settings for the stockpile. You want to hit S to change the settings, and here, this is the menu of the different things you can allow into the stockpile. What we're going to want to do is we're going to allow almost everything in the fort other than food and stone into this stockpile, and maybe wood. We're going to make a separate stockpile for wood also, because we have a lot of that. But we're going to put armor in there. You hit E to enable all of the items in that category. You go up, you can do weapons, and also another this is a weird menu system where you hit E to enable, D to disable the entire category. But if you go over here, you have to press P to permit, F to forbid. That gets rid of this whole category. P permits it. You can also block all the categories or allow all the categories using A and B, or you can go to a very specific level. You can basically, let's say you block all the things in that category, but you do want this, you want whips, you want an entire stockpile full of whips. You can go over to this third category and hit enter and activate just that one thing, so it would be just a stockpile full of whips. So it's a really weird system, but it's all written down here. It'll take a little while to get used to all that. It took me a while at least to get used to when should I enable, when should I allow, when should I permit. It's all just a weird thing, but just know that it's going to take some getting used to. But for now, I'm just going to enable a whole bunch of different categories: finished goods, leather, cloth, gems, bars and blocks, coins, which we don't really use a whole lot of, ammo, not refuse or corpses or stone, furniture we're going to put in there, and not food, and animals. For the most part, animal stockpiles are caged animals, or just empty cages. So if you're going to be making cage traps, or if you're going to be importing a lot of animals, then you're going to be using this category. But for now, this stockpile is going to have just a little bit of everything. I'll show you a little bit more about stockpiles in a future video, but for now, know that that's how the menu system works in customizing a stockpile. You're also, if you exit out of the settings, you can you're going to want to take a look at this. You may have something where none of your dwarves are moving anything into your stockpile. It might be because you have barrels turned off or bins turned off. By default, if you make a custom stockpile, the maximum amount of barrels will be 0. The maximum amount of bins is going to be 0. So if you're storing your items in barrels or bins, you're going to want to turn those up. I always turn them up anyway, because there's no reason not to have those items in the stockpile, unless you're wanting to conserve on barrels and bins to use in other stockpiles. But you just use capital E and capital R, do the maximum, switch between maximum and minimum barrels, and capital C, capital V, maximum bins. Or you can go up and down in one, but whatever. Probably won't use that. I usually turn the barrels and bins all the way up on my custom stockpiles, because I like to be nice and neat and tidy. Now, some people like to turn their stone into blocks using masons. It's a good way to train up your masons. I don't normally do that. I end up using my stone pretty quickly, because I've learned that out of all the resources, it's the most abundant, and I will be using it the most. 1 second, my wife is calling me, so I'm going to pause the video. Okay, I'm back. So we were going over the stockpiles. We're now, all of these guys are dragging all the items other than stone into the stockpile for the most part, except for food also. These guys are making food. We're starting to get some major bones hanging around. The cats are doing a good job. They're killing all the vermin, but we're also having problems with bones piling up. So let's go ahead and start a refuse stockpile outside. We'll probably put it inside here later, but for right now we'll make a stockpile for refuse, R for refuse, and we'll make a square just right about here, just so we can pick up the bones and stuff and put them somewhere not inside, because we don't want it hanging out with our food. See, these guys are coming to get it almost immediately. Okay, another thing I wanted to cover in this video, you remember in the last video we set up all our furniture in our bedrooms. Speaking of that, I'll go ahead and place the last couple of, yes, we have enough, last couple of coffers, dolomite coffer. Go ahead and place the last couple of them so that we can finish out our row of bedrooms. And I want to show you how to actually set up bedrooms as bedrooms. You hit the Q button to go into a building. now that we have a bed here, it counts as a building. So if you hover over it in the Q menu, it'll have the only option that you can do other than removing it is to make it into a bedroom. And you do that by hitting R, and it'll have you size the bedroom. You can make it smaller. Now you can make it one tile, I guess, or bigger. And when you're done sizing it, making it whatever size you want, you hit enter, and then now it's a bedroom. You can leave them be. You can just let people move into whatever bedroom they want, and they will do that on their own eventually, but I like to go ahead and assign the bed to a specific dwarf. So you do that. Once it's a bedroom, you get this new menu system. You can assign the bed, free a bed that already has an assignment, turn it into a barracks or a dormitory, or you can resize it if it's not the right size. You can also name the room, which I don't really ever do, but you know, if you feel like naming stuff, that's cool. But to assign it to a specific dwarf, you hit the A button, and there'll be a list of dwarfs. All the green dwarfs, when you're assigning a piece of furniture, are ones that don't have one assigned to them yet. So none of the dwarves have beds assigned to them. So you can scroll down using plus and minus, and okay, so now it says that the current owner of this bed is the Doran, the expedition leader. That's funny, it's like Dora the explorer. I guess that's not that funny, but so you can do that to all of these, and you might say, what are you doing? You're blindingly fast hitting buttons, but I'm really just doing exactly what I did on that first one for all of these rooms. And later on we can make these rooms super fancy by smoothing out the stone and carving engravings on them, but for right now we're just going to leave them like this. So now all 7 of our dwarfs have a bedroom, place to store their stuff in their coffer, and a door for some privacy. We also have a bed for them to sleep in. That's all the time we have in this video. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and set up our workshop floor, which is up here. It's nice and ready for us, and we'll show you some more things that you can make out of the materials that we have so far. But until the next time, my name is Paul Bo Brookins, and we'll see you next time.